Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one of those moments in modern warfare that redefine precision, intelligence, and the sheer unpredictability of conflict. In a shocking and calculated move, Ukraine reportedly tracked, weighted, and obliterated a secret Japanese convoy that had quietly entered Russian territory under mysterious circumstances. The entire operation unfolded within minutes, leaving the world stunned by both the speed and accuracy of Ukraine's military strike, and sparking a wave of questions about what Japan was doing in Russian territory in the first place. As reports and satellite data began to surface, a clearer picture emerged of a covert logistical movement that may have been part of a broader geopolitical maneuver, one that went catastrophically wrong once Ukraine took action. The first indications of this secret convoy came from a cluster of satellite signatures detected moving from the Far East toward Russian military zones near the Siberian border. At first, intelligence analysts assumed it was a standard resupply convoy from Russia's own Pacific Fleet or logistical forces. But as data poured in, something didn't fit the usual patterns. The vehicles were of a type not typically used by Russian units: cleaner designs, different infrared signatures, and unique transponder pulses that hinted at foreign origin. By the time OSINT analysts confirmed that these vehicles bore traces of Japanese manufacturing codes, Ukraine's intelligence network was already piecing together the operation in real time. What followed next was a masterclass in strategic patience. Instead of immediately striking, Ukraine decided to monitor, to understand, and to wait for the perfect moment when the convoy would cross into Russian-controlled territory, where its destruction would send a far more powerful message. Inside Ukrainian command centers, the mood was focused but tense. Analysts watched as the convoy snaked through frozen terrain, its movements obscured by snowstorms and electronic jamming fields. Ukrainian satellites, operating in tandem with Western reconnaissance networks, provided high-resolution imaging every hour. Drone units stationed near the eastern border tracked the convoy's electromagnetic emissions, triangulating positions and confirming communication frequencies. The operation was codenamed Silent Thunder, a reference to its intended outcome: total destruction before the enemy could even react. The convoy, believed to be carrying High-Al-U equipment and possibly sensitive technology components, was escorted by Russian armored units and air defense cover. Yet, despite these precautions, they were walking straight into an invisible trap, meticulously designed by Ukraine's strike planners. When the moment came, it happened almost too fast for even the surveillance teams to process in real time. As the convoy entered a narrow corridor surrounded by dense woodland and frozen hills, a network of Ukrainian HIMARS and long-range artillery systems, prepositioned days in advance, unleashed a storm of precision strikes. Within seconds, the entire column was engulfed in fireballs, secondary explosions, and clouds of black smoke that blotted out the sky. The Japanese, marked trucks, which had been carrying unknown cargo sealed in reinforced containers, disintegrated under the barrage. Russian escort vehicles attempted to return fire, but found themselves overwhelmed by drone-guided artillery and anti-radiation missiles homing in on their radar sources. What took hours to plan ended in under 10 minutes, and what remained of the convoy was nothing but twisted metal and silence. The interior of Ukraine's command bunker erupted in focused coordination as data streamed in from drones flying overhead. Target confirmation reports flashed across digital screens, showing the convoy completely neutralized. Commanders exchanged brief nods rather than celebrations. The mission had been surgical, not emotional. Within moments, Ukrainian forces began transmitting encrypted reports to NATO allies and intelligence partners, detailing the strike and confirming the destruction of all targets. Inside the control center, operators began reviewing infrared footage, showing thermal anomalies that indicated multiple secondary explosions, evidence that the convoy was carrying munitions or volatile materials. Yet, the short interior calm of the operation was overshadowed by an emerging mystery. What exactly had Japan's secret convoy been transporting into Russian hands? Performance-wise, this operation revealed the sheer precision of Ukraine's military capabilities, a fusion of Western intelligence support, domestic innovation, and adaptive battlefield learning. Over the last 2 years, Ukraine's forces have evolved from reactive defense to proactive precision warfare. They've integrated real-time intelligence with unmanned systems, turning each strike into a dated, driven event. The destruction of this convoy wasn't just luck or timing. It was the result of thousands of hours of surveillance, intercepted communications, and algorithmic targeting adjustments. Analysts now describe Ukraine's battlefield operations as algorithmic warfare, where AI-assisted tracking software coordinates missile timing down to fractions of a second, maximizing lethality while minimizing collateral damage. In this case, not a single civilian structure was hit, not one drone lost, and the convoy was eliminated so efficiently that Russian command didn't even issue a counterattack for nearly an hour. The implications of Japan's involvement are where the story deepens. While Tokyo has maintained public support for Ukraine, the idea that Japanese vehicles or technology might have been present in a Russian convoy raises serious diplomatic questions. Some experts suggest these weren't official Japanese government vehicles but black market acquisitions of Japanese-made transport machinery repurposed by Russian intermediaries. Others, however, point to intelligence leaks suggesting that a rogue faction of Japanese industrial contractors may have been involved in supplying Russia through indirect routes, perhaps under the guise of neutral trade agreements. Either way, the strike exposed a hidden network of logistical connections that Russia may have been quietly using to bypass sanctions. Ukraine's decision to destroy the convoy on Russian soil ensured that no international law violation could be pinned against them, while simultaneously sending a warning to any nation considering covert assistance to Moscow. From a safety perspective, Ukraine demonstrated extraordinary operational caution throughout this mission. Every measure was taken to ensure minimal risk to Allied assets and no harm to civilians. The strike zone was carefully mapped, with evacuation alerts sent via encrypted frequencies to any potential non-combatants in the area. Even the timing early dawn, when traffic and local movement were lowest, was selected to guarantee precision without unintended casualties. Drones equipped with high-resolution sensors scanned for heat signatures moments before launch, ensuring no civilian presence within the blast radius. Ukraine's use of GPS-denied targeting systems, capable of functioning under heavy jamming, proved vital. The strike also revealed improvements in electronic warfare resilience. Russian attempts to intercept or disrupt missile guidance signals failed completely. In terms of operational safety and control, this was a textbook demonstration of disciplined modern warfare. But what makes this entire episode uniquely powerful are its geopolitical ripples. By waiting and striking at the perfect moment, Ukraine didn't just destroy a convoy, it disrupted a covert supply chain and reshaped global perceptions of its intelligence prowess. The message to Russia was unmistakable: no ally, no secret deal, and no covert route can evade Ukraine's reach. The message to the world was equally sharp. Ukraine's intelligence apparatus is now one of the most capable in Europe, blending Western data support with independent strike capabilities. Analysts from Washington to London praised the timing of the operation, calling it a chess move that eliminated two opponents at once: Russia's supply ambitions and Japan's potential shadow dealings. Even within Russia, the fallout was immediate and severe. Local officials in the affected region scrambled to contain the information, sealing off the site and classifying it under strategic asset loss. Social media footage, however, told the story clearly: long columns of blackened vehicles, burnt-out frames scattered across snow, and emergency teams collecting fragments of what appeared to be sophisticated equipment. Russian state media initially blamed unknown saboteurs for the explosion, but high-resolution drone footage leaked online later confirmed the strike pattern matched Ukrainian artillery. By the end of the day, Russian bloggers and military analysts were in full panic mode, accusing Moscow's command of negligence and warning that Ukraine's eyes see everything. For Japan, the diplomatic backlash was swift. Within hours, Ukraine's Ministry of Defense publicly hinted that foreign, manufactured vehicles had been part of the destroyed convoy without naming Japan directly. Tokyo immediately issued a statement denying any military involvement, asserting that no Japanese assets were authorized for Russian use. Still, analysts noted that Japan's credibility took a hit, as the incident exposed the complexity of global arms and trade networks during wartime. It's possible that Russian intelligence sought to create confusion by intentionally using Japanese manufactured vehicles to disguise their operations, a tactic known as signature camouflage. If that's true, then Ukraine not only destroyed a convoy, but also neutralized a sophisticated deception strategy, another major intelligence win. In the weeks that followed, new evidence emerged showing that the convoy had been transporting high-tech sensors and industrial components crucial for missile guidance systems, materials heavily restricted under international sanctions. These parts were likely meant for Russia's depleted manufacturing lines, struggling under the weight of economic isolation. By wiping out that shipment, Ukraine effectively stalled several of Russia's planned missile production schedules, a blow that could have long-term effects on its military capabilities. Western intelligence officials confirmed that the loss represented a strategic setback equivalent to 6 months of supply disruption. In essence, Ukraine didn't just destroy vehicles, it disrupted an entire chain of technological flow. The price tag for such precision is high, but Ukraine's growing support network of NATO-supplied equipment and advanced Western targeting software has made such operations increasingly possible. The weapons used, likely a combination of HIMARS, Storm Shadow missiles, and indigenous long-range artillery, have become symbols of Ukraine's evolving independence. Each operation of this scale costs millions of dollars, but its impact on Russian logistics is immeasurable. Financially, the destroyed convoy's cargo is estimated to be worth several $100 million, not counting the strategic value of its contents. On the balance sheet of modern warfare, Ukraine's investment in precision warfare continues to pay off, dismantling Russian resources faster than Moscow can rebuild them. As the dust settled, one thing became clear: Ukraine's victory here was not just on the battlefield, but in the psychological domain. Russia was humiliated by the exposure of its reliance on covert foreign logistics. Japan was dragged into a narrative of suspicion. The West saw a demonstration of precision warfare executed flawlessly, and for Ukraine, this was proof that patience and strategy often outweigh brute force. The operation's success reignited confidence across Ukrainian ranks, showing that despite the ongoing toll of war, their intelligence, technology, and coordination remain sharper than ever. In conclusion, this incident will likely go down as one of the most tactically efficient and politically impactful strikes of the conflict. It underscored the importance of timing, surveillance, and restraint in modern warfare, and showed that Ukraine's military now operates on a level once reserved for global superpowers. Waiting for Japan's secret convoy to enter Russia wasn't just a tactical move, it was a masterstroke of psychological warfare and global messaging. In mere minutes, Ukraine erased not just a convoy, but a secret ally and a carefully hidden link in Russia's war machine. As the world continues to watch, one thing is certain: Ukraine's message is loud and clear. No matter how deep the alliance, no secret is safe when the stakes are this high.